Alright, hello to all my guys, gals, and non-binary pals out there across the electrical ocean. This is Jazzman, and we are back with a game between DungeonLord up here, playing Forglar Swamp, Kathir Forest Split. And maybe we'll see some turtles today, that'd be fun. And, down bot, we've got Hellir, I'm just gonna say Hellir, because that's fun. Oh god, he's playing worms. Okay, well, this could probably be a short game. Worms on any other map tends to favor longer games, but here, when, the shrines are so close, you could probably only be like a few turns until Hellir starts dropping shit around DungeonLord's shrine. And it looks like it will be turtles from DungeonLord. So we'll see if they can't make a mess, a big splattery mess of these worms. Hopefully. I'm not a big fan of worms myself. I get the appeal, I get the expanding deployment zone and the powerful late game, the positional aspect of, the phantom creepers, the bile zombies, and other stuff that could come in out of nowhere with initiative. But, it's never been a theme I was big on playing myself. And definitely not now, when it's probably one of the top Forsaken Waste themes, or at least the most played, I should say. But getting the camaraderie down for... oh, wait a minute, he doesn't have camaraderie. Well, fuck then. Yeah, Hawker's fine early. He's nice and cheap. Declare Hunted on that Bloodworm should help, but having camaraderie down early was what I was going to say. Would have been a big help for DungeonLord's other champions. And did he deploy Rotmaw? Oh, he deployed it down here. Okay. I saw the poof in the deployment zone here, and I thought he deployed it at the shrine. I was like, you idiot. But no, he dropped it down here, so he's going to be putting more pressure on this bot side font. Or I guess that would be the right font. From the perspective of the champions on the board, as well as us observers. So that Grenadier is going to need some backup for sure, going into that 2v1. Rotmaw is particularly strong now. It looks like Hellir went with the 60 Nora build. So he comes in with 15 damage and, Ren 2 on top of that. That can get pretty strong. And I think Shred Defense here is going to be nice versus the Tortons, since they all tend to have 3+ defense. And then Bloodworm. Bloodworm is really strong. I'd even consider running Bloodworm in, like, Forsaken Waste meta. Because, look at this guy. Okay, he has Surge Worm upgraded, so... But ignoring that, like, he has 7 speed, multi-attack, and then decent defensive stats, too. And I think on the Surge Worm line, you can take... shit, what is it again? You can get, like, Hunter... No, he already has Hunter Quick. You can get some pretty nice stuff. Oh, yeah, Life Siphon. I'm pretty sure it's Life Siphon on that line. So he can, he has some self-healing, and he can do decent in 1v1s. I like him. He's a good fast bruiser. I guess an alternative to Obsidian Venger. If you want something with, something... If you want to break out of the toolbox for a bit. And DungeonLord has actually deployed the Privateer Captain topside, so he's going to be leaving his Grenadier to fend for himself for the time being. Oh, never mind, there comes the Favored. And Favored is not typically seen in Tortons, I would say. He's just expensive, really. He's basically a worse Boghopper Shaman at this point. Like, why would you run Favored over just, subbing in a Boghopper Shaman that comes in with Divine Favor, also does all the healing you could ever need, but is cheaper and, just doesn't suffer the downsides of being a Torton. I guess in Tortons you could say that it's not much of a downside being a Torton because you get, like, Torton's trade buffs and shit. But, I don't know, I'd still run Shaman. And then I'd go like Gale Singer, of course, for the support slot. But the magic damage here will be helpful. I'm betting that's why he's running it, is for magic damage, because off the top of my head, I don't think Tortons have any other magic damage in their kit. You'd have to run, like, the gold sand if you want that. But magic damage will help for ethereal, and then a blinking creeper. So he's just going to be staring down these turtles. Detection. Oh no, he doesn't have it. He has dread. Okay, so he took the unspeakable dread build. Pretty nice for damage reduction. I think unspeakable would have been better saved for a later point in the game, when the fear would actually be helpful. But, it'll reduce some of the damage off this Hawk attack, and honestly, I think DungeonLord is going to be fine up top. Like, he's got the Slam from Captain to get that Bloodworm disengaged if he needs to. And Hunter Quick here is actually pretty bad, because none of the Tortons have 7 base speed, naturally. So another mortar. So he's really putting all of his pressure into topside at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised to see him contest, but Phantasmal will be out of Ghost on the following turn, so we'll probably see like a Hex, maybe a Shred defense to give lumbering to the Grenadier. But they can swap in there nicely, like he can stall with Turtle and whatnot. And there's the Slam. I'm pretty sure Hellir needs to get in there and just start wailing away. Because otherwise, Privateer Captain will just keep it at range, and then the Mortar. Like, Torton range is really intimidating if you look at their champs. They got the Mortar, they got the gun battery, they got the Cannoneer. And, yeah, even stuff like Grenadier and Inventor is pretty intimidating. And then, you know, Captain can knock things back into your turtled Tortons for some nice synergy there. So you really just got to get on them, and you really gotta cull their numbers before the banditry procs and the trade procs out efficiency your AP on the board. But maybe it will be a little bit of a longer game here, because the way it's shaping up, I feel like this font down here will even with the added magic damage support, I'm pretty sure Hellir is going to be fine. Like, the Grenadier can't disengage an attack on the same turn because of Ponderous. So if Rotma just sits on him, like, there's not much Grenadier can do, and Favorite isn't exactly a combat champion, so it won't be providing much backup in the damage department. Also he hasn't upgraded Tidal Wave, so he will bring, he will bring healing, so he might make that battle, he might stall for a while, but if he had Tidal Wave to drown one of these guys, it'd do better. But another blinking over here from DungeonLord. I'm just waiting for him to start dropping champs on the shrine, to be honest. You could just drop, like, I don't know, an Eye of Sirkin and start wailing away at it. Or you could drop like a Mind Thief to delay the advance here. Because once the deployment zone gets like around this area, like, you can just drop champs and prevent reinforcements from coming towards this font. But the font capture here is actually working a little bit against DungeonLord, because it gives the grass for Bloodworm to walk over and get to the Hawker. He kind of screwed up there by knocking away the Bloodworm before doing the Hawk attack. Forced him to move his Hawker in a little bit closer, and now he's in double hit range. So we'll see if maybe like an Essence Drain comes down onto that Hawker, get an early kill. That'd be pretty nice. Because then, I mean, at that point, Hellir would have 3 champions over here to 2, but also it would be 2 ranged champions versus 2 plus the Bloodworm, and Bloodworm can just run into melee and kill these guys easily. No problem, because of their massive minimum range. But otherwise, I think if like DungeonLord lets, if Hellir lets DungeonLord build up, like, he could just sit back and chain Turtle to stall in that font. But stalling against worms, typically not what you want to be doing. See how he plays this out. Petrifying Gaze is very annoying. Although, I mean, well, Bloodworm is physical damage. These blinkings are psychic, so they can still hit through the immunity. Yeah, I guess we'll see. So the Rotma down here does move in, does the lumbering. Like, he didn't even really need to use Shred Defense, but I guess he did for the defense reduction there. That Grenadier has 3 damage. Man, that's a sad-looking Grenadier. I'm guessing he's going to turtle this turn, and then I guess Favorite can move in. I would honestly just focus the Rotma at this point. Like, usually Phantasmal Creeper is the one you want to be firing down as soon as possible, because Portal in Worms is just, it's insane. Like, you can teleport anywhere. He could teleport anywhere in this deployment zone and just buff these blinkings up with Commander whenever you want. Bring in a Hex from across the board for damage reduction, and honestly, I think Hellir might be better off just abandoning this font, like leaving his Rotma to 1v2, because he's probably got this Grenadier on lock. Like, he can stall with Turtle and shit, but I think moving the Phantasmal over here for reinforcements would be a little bit better, because now, yeah, see, the Bloodworm is going to go down this turn. Mortar not quite within range. I'm wondering, so if DungeonLord moves here, I'm betting that Slam will knock him into the Hawker and then kill it, right? It'll do 7, but then 10 additional knockback damage. Yep, there's the Turtle, so we're probably... Oh, he's gonna... Is that still gonna work? No. Oh, it does. Okay, yeah. Good. That's what I... Of course, I knew that all along, being professional player that I am. But yeah, that knockback killed off the Bloodworm. So now it's just the Blinky boys down there. Or, sorry, up there. I'm getting all sorts of confused today. But yeah, so Rotma and this font isn't actually looking that much better for Hellir at the moment. Like he does have the damage advantage, but he's just gonna get outstalled, I guess. So there's, I guess, a 3 damage hit maybe, or well, a 2 damage hit because of the defense. I would honestly prefer the turtle here, and I think moving back like against this the edge of the map here is probably the wrong choice, because that's, I mean, that's just how you get pinned, right? I think if he was going to move anywhere, he'd move like this way towards your favorite, right? And ooh, a poison trap. Right, so Rotma tried to walk onto the poison trap this space. I'm guessing DungeonLord was assuming that Rotma would move this way, but he moved into the poison trap instead, and that's an easy 35 Nora swing for Hellir there. And then he can just, yeah, you can just like move right. Okay, well, I would have moved onto that same space for the reasons I mentioned before. I guess he could move the Phantasmal Creeper in there, but it would have been better for him to actually move into this space because it would have forced the Grenadier like down this way and, you know, split up DungeonLord's champions a bit more. But I wonder, if he could get a, what is it again, El Sarai Bazaar onto that Phantasmal Creeper, just send it running into that font with Shrine Exertion. That'd be pretty cool, because he'd have this font. Like, Favored would have to run back. Leaving the Grenadier alone to 1v1 the Rotma would be awful for DungeonLord. So we'll see what these blinkings... What are these blinkings doing up top? He's gonna... Well, he could petrify. This has to do damage, though, right? Yeah, if damaged, it becomes petrified. So he's gonna despoil for 1 Nora Globe. Okay. I don't know about that. I would have thought another deploy here would be good. Think like what is it now? The Chattering Maw. And okay, so he does the thing, the portal to the other side of the map. But yeah, Chattering Maw here to Sonic Roar both of these guys. He really needs to petrify on the captain, because that's the threat. But the despoil does protect against spells. And then I guess, well, Phantasmal doesn't have to walk into the font, but I guess he could. Let's check these up. Okay, so no Torton's Trade on the Privateer. He should be trying to play around Slam as well on that Privateer, not get his blinking knocked into the other blinking. Like well, he should have moved this back 1, just so that potentially doesn't happen. But the Phantasmal is over here now, so there's really no way for it to get back down bot. That's the thing. Like, it could teleport onto the tar or into this font, but it would still take another few turns for it to move back into the action over here. So we'll see how Rotma does on its own. There's a Blood Fiend coming in to help. Exert, Life Siphon, nonsense. But yeah, Rotma down to 20. And Shred Defense is on cooldown, I believe, for another turn. So no more lumbering. And yeah, I think Hellir needs some kind of... he needs some kind of support, like a Soulbane, maybe, to give loss of life through the turtle... Or not a Soulbane. Well, I guess Soulbane would work too, but... I was going to say a Soul Reeve to get through the turtles. Would be nice. He doesn't have the damage, really, to get through the Torton defense and get any kills off. He kind of wasted his Bloodworm just sitting there for a turn and letting him get poked by Privateer. Surge Worm is honestly tempting in Worms because you can run Colossus and the Pustule to spam carry onlings, but I still think Life Siphon is better because Worms don't really have outside of Putrid, they don't have a dedicated tank. You could run Reflecting if you want, but it's not really threatening as a tank. Like, tanks really need more than just tankiness to be effective. Right, I mean, you look at something like Talgar. I mean, he's tanky, right? He's got Tough, he's got Thirst for Battle, Purified, he has high defense, but he's also got great damage on top of that. He has utility with Hammer Throw. Or you look at, like, Obsidian Wing, right? He's pretty damn tanky. He's got Tough 3 upgrade. But then he's also got Binding Chains, right? And Binding Chain is great utility. So tanks that are just meat walls, they don't work as often, or as effectively either. So, and, man, where was I going with this again? Yeah, Bloodworm. I think outside of Putrid, Worms don't really have a dedicated tank, so having the sustainability of Life Siphon is really helpful, especially on a champion. Like, you don't need Surge Worm for damage. It's nice, but he has Hunter Quick, he has Heart Strike, so he usually gets like 15 to 16 damage hits anyway. So it's not, it's basically just overkill at that point. So if he had Life Siphon there, he could have maybe healed up and survived the onslaught, is what I'm trying to get at. After, what, 2 more minutes longer than necessary of talking about it? Yeah, that's just a bad habit of mine. I'm an old man, all right? Let me ramble. Let me ramble and reminisce about how things were better in my day. That's pretty much all I do in these videos, isn't it? Or one of the main things that's like, oh, this champion used to do this, or that champion used to be so good. It's like, you guys are probably just like, man, shut up, talk about the game as it is, right? Not how things used to be. Like, the future is now, old man, and I'm just like, yeah, but I like rocking on my porch, you know? So anyway, we missed some petrifying gazes. Privateer Captain going down to 3 damage from the Hex, and, I mean, Petrified can be cleansed, but the thing is, champions still won't gain AP for that turn. So they will, even if the cleanse comes down, they will end up missing a turn's worth of AP. Hawker still has 5 saves, so he could potentially get an attack if some sneaky slam happens here. The down bot, Bloodfiend has booked it to that fawn. He's going all the way in. And as expected, Rotmaw still holding strong, 1v2, but now that the Bloodfiend reinforcements arrive, it's going to be a lot... I don't know, I think, well, Rotmaw is down to 25, so, and the thing is, Favored does provide a lot of healing. So in the 1v1, in the 1v2 sustained war, definitely DungeonLord would come out on top. I really would have liked to see the Elisarai Bazaar, or maybe even a mobilization into that font on the turn before the Phantasmal teleported, but I guess it was not meant to be. And DungeonLord taking advantage of Hellier's kind of sloppy positioning here with the blinkings against each other. I mean, it was a good attempt, you know, going for the double petrifying gaze, but the dead zone does prevent spell finishers potentially, like single targets. Like no Grimlick's Bane is going to happen here, unless Grimlick has found a way to penetrate dead magic zone. But no, Thorn Collection won't be enough. I guess Thorn Collection Transfigure would be enough, but I don't think you can Transfigure just yet. There's a repeater, so more range. That's a lot of range from DungeonLord here. I like repeaters. I think they... not to go on another rant, like I was literally just talking about, but repeaters used to be incredibly overpowered, in my opinion. They used to have this ability called... Suppressing Fire. Basically what that was is anytime a champion would move into its range, like the first time each turn something moved into its range, it would make an attack on them, and it also had Punish. So every time the first champion moved into its range, it was a free attack. It was basically a better defensive strike. And it was also on that Centaur, the Centaur Savage. And it also had like 7 range, I think, but it was really strong back there. And so thankfully it's a little bit better now. The Sentinel Punish build is still quite interesting, I think. It does make it 77 Nora, but it's pretty strong. Like on the defense, like you can get Punish return damage, then you could take advantage of that with like Cull. But down here, yeah, still not looking good for Hellir. That Rotmaw is on 3. We'll see if it can. It'll basically only get 1 more turn. Why does it have 10 AP saved? Did Hellir just not do anything with that last turn, or was it stunned somehow? What did I miss while I was talking? 4 loss of life. Nothing. Okay. Oh yeah, it is. What am I talking about? It's Hellier's turn. Fucking. Okay. Whatever. Crucify me in the comments for that if you want. But it's Hellier's turn, and he is going to town on this Grenadier. Will he get the kill? I'm pretty sure. So Bloodfiend was over here, and Exertion is probably still on cooldown then, right? He moved to 2. He could maybe do a Bazaar now. And then Rotmaw is going to get... Okay, yeah, so there's the Exertion. So he will do 22 plus Rabbit is 25, 35, 39. Yep, he's got the kill. He's 1 over. And at that point, it'll be just Favored versus these guys. Favored will get the return kill, probably on the Rotmaw. But Favored versus Bloodfiend will not be favorable, haha, for the Favored. And there we go. There's the kill down on Grenadier. And up here, it's really not looking good for Hellir, I gotta say. One of these blinkings is almost dead. Phantasmal can't do much on its own. The Petrified will last another turn. Ooh, Essence Drain. Okay, so that's actually changed the entire game, because now the captain is dead to these blinkings. And then, oh, there's two... Oh, he didn't have... Oh, yeah, he's at a range. Okay. But the captain's dead. These guys are still petrified for another turn. That will most likely lead to a kill on the mortar as well. He's going to get 2 hits for 11 each, and then another 11, and then basically any spell can finish the mortar after that. And then it'll just be Hawker and Repeater, and by that point, I mean, Hellir could send in reinforcements. So that's some nice globes there for Favorite to get. He'd like move here and then move on to the second globe, but he'd get double hit in return. I think it's worth it though. I mean, no, 2 globes, how much would be in those globes? Like, I don't know, I want to say like 25 Nora maybe in total. He gets 1, yep, he does get both. And he does get the font. So yeah, Bloodfiend will have to use Blood Fueled and only hit once so that he can walk back into the font. And this is actually more of an interesting game than I was thinking it would be. I figured, you know, with the shrines standing so close here, that Worms would definitely have the advantage. And I mean, they're still working up the advantage. You just have to make the gains on the board. And Repeater, not quite. He's attacking this one. I would have thought attacking this other blinking would have been better. He had the AP for it. Also, that would have put both of them in defensive strike range. So we'll see if Hellir can get the return kill on this mortar. He'll lose the blinking for it, but that blinking was kind of screwed anyway. So I guess he could portal, actually. He could portal to this one of these tar spaces and then just walk forward for a tap from the Phantasmal. It's got the banner and the font. And no hex. Oh yeah, he does have he does have hex. So he could, I guess he could hex the fish kisser or something. And the double dread, definitely, wait, what? Oh, okay, he's gonna go for the Hawker, I guess. He only gets 1 hit each, though. But there's the Bazaar. There's the Bazaar I've been waiting on. So he can train for a double hit on this one. There's the Exert. And he's only going to get 18 damage, though. So 18 there. He'll be left with 10. Yeah, he should have the kill still. Because the Hex, and then this blinking finishes it off. Then Globe, right? Grab Globe, yeah. He won't be in defensive strike, right? Oh no, he's... Okay, well, I would have grabbed the Globe. I think at this point, like, you're not really... Oh, you are at a range, I guess. But maybe he did the right thing. Maybe I was greeding for that Globe. I would have greeded for that Globe. I always greed for globes, I think. I don't know, like when I'm playing Forsaken Waste, it's like, yeah, my champ's dead, but Nora. So, yeah. Puts the Grimwell down in the bot font, saving the need to contest. And then Favored's kind of screwed now, because Grimwell will prevent any kind of retreat. He can turtle, but that'll only buy him a turn, and then Bloodfiend will cap that bottom font. And then after that, I mean, even if DungeonLord wins top, you can't actually get to this top font. All of his champions are 1 space short, so he's gonna have to put down a relic of his own, unless Manic works in his favor somehow. I'm pretty sure even if he puts the Fish Kisser here, Manic won't move him to this space. So the Favored does retreat into its shell, hiding from its imminent death as best as possible. And I'm guessing DungeonLord is trying to work out a kill on this blinking, because I mean, now that the Shrine Exertion is trained on it, I kind of want to get that down ASAP so that it's a waste of the investment here from Hellir. You can get you can back out of... Is he in, no, he's not in dread range. All right, so you can get a 10, you can get an 11, 22, and Manic 32. He's actually 1 short even with the Manic. Needs like what does he need? He needs spells, I guess. Like on deploy, Torton's stuff, like Torton's trade comes in on cooldown. Ancient's Protection gets the Heirloom, I never know how to pronounce this. Heirloom's Favor. Heirloom's Favor. It's the one that gives 2 AP in an AoE to Torton's. So that gets Ancient's Protection, but he actually just casts a second one, so it doesn't matter. How much is that spell? Like 30, 35 Nora? But it gets attacked by the mortar, and then Repeater. I mean, that's fine, but the problem now is that he put his mortar in the way of Fishkisser, and Fishkisser can't get a basic attack off now. And he gets in the font, grabs the globe, which is fine. But it did kind of fail the kill there. So the thing was, even if he did get the kill, like, it would have given over the font, so probably getting in the font and leaving these 2 low HP guys isn't too bad. I'm assuming defensive strike is up, but that still won't be quite enough. It'll be left with 1, assuming he doesn't, like, eat it with the Phantasmal or something, which it would probably be better to do that. See, this is why I would always take Punish on Torton Repeater. I think, like, Strike is fine, but Punish just combos too well with whatever Repeater wants to do. Like, no matter what you take on your other upgrade line, whether it's Sentinel or Defensive Strike, you always want to take Punish. And, ooh, look at that cheesy little font grab there from Hellir. Portaling with the Phantasmal over here and then just walking right in. Well, don't mind if I do. Capturing that font. And that's probably the end of the game. I mean, DungeonLord has nothing up here. There's literally nothing to try and contest that. And he's losing bot to the Grimwell. Up top, it's not looking too bad, but even if he wins top, it'll be like 2 fonts to 1, and this font is so close to the shrine, and it's Worms in the late game, so yeah. Here is about probably where I'd surrender. I mean, there was really no way to prevent that font grab. I mean, you could drop a relic in there, like, he probably should have put the banner in the font, at the very least. But yeah, worms do tend to do these sorts of things, and Tortons don't really have any good, like, defensive strategies against us. Like, you can't really rush on this map because that tar is in the way. Worms could deploy there just fine. Like, and I have Sirkin sitting in here. I mentioned that earlier, I think. But this tar and then all these relics is sort of blocking the Fishkisser from getting at the blinking in the back. He could get the kill with Manic. Like, if you put it here and then Manic this way into the Creeper, that -4 defense from Captain's Cripple will let him do that. Yeah, I guess, or he could just walk back here. I was thinking about it too much. I didn't see that he could just walk between the relics. But yeah, kind of demoralizing to face Worms on a map like this. Torton Land Cannon coming down. Unfortunately, Land Cannon is not an attack, so it ignores defense. And Fishkisser will have to finish with the Manic, so that was kind of a waste of a Land Cannon. He could have used the Land Cannon to help finish this blinking. Because now, I mean, 10 damage from Mortar is not going to be enough. Like, Repeater will have to walk through the aura and whatnot just to finish. Oh, it looks like he's transfiguring instead. Okay. So that finishes him off. He'll die to Manic, and then, I mean, the Avatar's not quite able to make it to the font, unfortunately. So, I mean, I'd probably head over there anyway, just because you don't really have many other options. I guess the only other option here would be to consolidate up top, and after you've won top, maybe try and make like a last stand sort of thing. But I don't really see an end game in that situation. Like, what would you be working towards other than a long, slow death to the ever-expanding deployment zone, you know? But the Avatar does lock down the Chattering Maw for now, kinda. And Favored doing his best to walk away from Grimwell. I think Grimwell's a really strong relic. I don't know why people stopped running it. I think in terms of contesting relics, it's probably one of the best in Forsaken Waste. Aside from stuff like, you know, Mist of the Dead is good, the Defiling Spinal is good, Bazaar and Banner are always mainstays. But, yeah, I mean, it's 30 Nora, like, blocks all movement, everything, you know, losing AP. You can use it defensively, you can use it offensively by contesting. You can just leave it there against melee champions. It does tend to get sniped down, but, I mean, what relic doesn't, right? So, Fishkisser staring at that globe, that little Valentine's Day heart. Best wishes to all the couples out there who are going to be enjoying tomorrow. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day, right? Yeah. I always forget because I'm part of the Singles Awareness Club. I'm going to be going to my yearly meeting tomorrow and bashing on all the happy couples that are frolicking about on beaches and in parks and whatever else they do. Damn them. Damn them to hell. So Phantasmal Creeper securing that font, and I guess he could just wail on that banner, but I think like he's kind of isolated right now. See, the problem in Hellier's position is that he's not, like, he's winning on the board, but he doesn't have many champions. Like, he's kind of getting out-champed, and I don't know where his Nora is going. He hasn't, I mean, he spent 45 on that Chattering, but he should have enough. Okay, well, there's an Essence Drain. A completely unnecessary Essence Drain on that Favored. Doesn't let it, okay, well, I was going to say it doesn't let him finish it off, but Soulbane after that, sure. And he just dropped 90 Nora to win that font. I guess, you know what? That's probably worth it, because what was that? The bracelet, the reverberating bracelet on that Favored would have been a real pain in the ass for Bloodfiend, because Distracted prevents its abilities. So, I mean, I don't know, was it worth 95 Nora just to get that? Probably, because it's sort of like a win more type of play, because you were going to get that font at some point, it just now you get it right now. And, yeah, Hellir is in a pretty solid position. Avatar still can't grab that font. And Mortar actually working his way through those relics pretty nicely thanks to Siege. Cannon finishing the other one off. And yeah, I guess Avatar can smash up that Chattering Maw. But after that, I mean, now that DungeonLord has no fonts and, you know, Hellir has secured all of these others, it shouldn't take long for Hellir to start, you know, spamming deploys up top, spamming along the sides here. And basically, like, I mean, DungeonLord can't deploy, right? So it's basically just cleanup time as far as Hellir is concerned. And I was wondering, so here's something I've been considering. So a lot of, well, maybe not a lot of the time, but some of the time, like, these games can go on for, I would say, longer than necessary. I don't want to make any judgment calls here. Like, I know some people like to play until the end, you know, until their shrine's good and dead, the way the game was intended to be played. But I'm wondering, like, in these sorts of positions where one player is very clearly advantaged over the other, would it be appropriate for me to just cut the recording and just say, okay, this game's over, so-and-so won, and that's the end of that? Or would it be better for me to just keep going with the commentary until the game is over? Because I find that there's during these stages, there's really not much to talk about here. It's basically just one player slowly accumulating advantage and, you know, ending the game. At higher levels, like, this kind of stuff probably wouldn't be happening. Would be just, you know, the other player would surrender and go on to the next game, you know? Sucks to suck, I guess. But sometimes when players are sure in their own minds that they can make a comeback, the games tend to drag a little bit in the later stages. And again, that's no indictment against those types of players. If people think they can make a comeback, more power to them, right? I was just wondering from, like, a viewer's enjoyment perspective, would it be better for me to record these bits and risk not, or, you know, better for me to cut the recording and move on to the next game rather than, you know, risk missing a comeback happen? I don't know, just something to think about. If you guys wanted to tell me about it in the comments, your thoughts and opinions on that. So with all that said, I feel like, I mean, now that DungeonLord does have this font, he could make a comeback. Like, it's not out of the realm of possibility. But when you're against Worms here, and you're down by 2 fonts plus the Transfigure Nora, it's not all too likely. I would definitely give the odds. See, I could have even, like, seen the Phantasmal walk into that font, because, I mean, it's incorporeal this turn, you know? So he could have contested there for a turn and then portaled away on the following turn. Like, he was in no danger. Tortons don't have very many magic damage units. Even if Gold Sand came out, for example, I still don't think that Phantasmal would have died. But, I mean, you know, DungeonLord now has a deployment zone to work with. So we'll see if he can muster the Nora for a champion. But, you know, again, like, Hellir just double deployed at the shrine. Things are only going to be getting worse. Okay, so Mangle Shell comes down, and Vindictive is nice. He doesn't have... Okay, well, he doesn't have multi-attack. I'm almost positive he should. I know there are Tortons on cooldown. I've seen a great many of them die this game. Maybe it'll update at the end of the turn. But he also has Battle Eater, and Battle Eater is really good versus cheapy, spammy themes like Worms. I'm thinking just the threat of Battle Eater will deter Hellir from deploying something like Carry On Colossus or whatever. Because, I mean, I wouldn't want to deploy 10 HP Carry Onlings into into a battle leader champ. That'd be just silly. So we'll see if DungeonLord can work, or sorry, Hellir can work his way through the Torton offense. And there's the multi-attack. I knew it. He would just wait. He was just waiting to check if his brothers were well and truly dead before plundering their gold and reaping the rewards for himself. So Hellir actually backs off. Okay, so he's worried about this font. Okay, and now I really hope this doesn't turn into a 50-turn grind fest. I was hoping that someone would take the decisive action, but I mean, yeah, I wouldn't want to walk into this either. Like Torton land cannon, mortar, repeater. I mean, again, that's a lot of threatening range. Like, where's your Eye of Sirkin, man? Okay, well, there it is. Speak of the devil. So Eye of Sirkin comes down, better late than never. And logistics flanking will hopefully get its action going. With this Blood Fiend over here, I'd personally just, kill it by spamming Blood Fueled and shit, just to get it back on cooldown so that it can come back and be useful later on, rather than just have it sit there for, for no reason. Because it's not going to be doing anything over here for the rest of the game, right? Like, there's no way... honestly, I could maybe see DungeonLord trying to make a push for this font with just, like, a champion. Something cheap. Like, I don't know, maybe the repeater can work its way over there. And then, of course, he's running the Blessing spell for 2 AP, so you could sneak it at some point. But, of course, with Worms, I mean, Hellir is just going to deploy into that area immediately afterwards. So I guess it looks like it's going to be a stall fest for now. I should have came prepared with I was going to say story, but now I kind of feeling like a nap. Because I don't see much happening. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. Maybe DungeonLord will take the initiative, and it looks like he is. Okay, all right. I was gonna get my pillow and stuff out, but no, he's going right in with that fish kisser. What does he have? Okay, Nature's Blessing. Okay, so he has a bonus defense. Can he get... No, he can't actually get in there with the other guys. He's out of range. Mortar can get a hit on one of these if he wants. And the neat thing about Siege is that it ignores Shrine Resistance, even though it doesn't actually say that on the ability. So Mortar will do the full 12 damage to Shrines, or 6 in the case of Fire Blast attack. So I guess now, I mean, Hellir is going to be feeling kind of pressured with this insane range bearing down on him. I wouldn't be surprised to see another Shattering Maw, assuming that DungeonLord moves all his other shit up too. Mangle Shell still chilling in the back, waiting for his time to shine. So does anyone else remember when, like the hero equips, stuff like Chill Shard and Gun... I was going to say the Golden Gun, but I don't actually know what the Mangle Shell's equip is called. But anyway, that set of equips, like Tempest Crown and shit, they used to actually give their respective... They used to be hero equips. Like, they would give bonuses when on specific heroes. And, oh my god, another Poison Trap. Ooh, that was nasty. Unlike the previous one, that was actually a really sneaky Poison Trap. DungeonLord put it inside Hellir's Shrine Deployment Zone, so he should have seen it. But the thing is, it was actually hidden behind the shrine. Like right in this space here, so Hellir did not notice it. That was a sneaky ass move. I gotta hand it to him. I liked that. So it sapped all of Rot Maw's and Phantasmal's AP here. And man, that's gotta suck. Because now, I mean, Fish Kisser is in prime position to wreck some face. I would have, like, if I were gonna do that, I would even move Repeater up a little more. Because, I mean, 39 HP is pretty good. The thing is, that was a risky play, too, because if Hellir was paying attention and would have seen it, then, I mean, it would have just been dead, right? Eye of Sirkin would have killed it or something. But as it stands, he's going to have to go on, rely on good old Shattering Maw to slow DungeonLord's advance. Then again, DungeonLord is Kathir Forest. Herbal Antidote, Cleansing Emerald, always possibility. Maybe even a Cleansing Mist, if DungeonLord wanted to be extra sneaky. But yeah, the Fish Kisser is in the thick of it here. Phantasmal still Ghost for this turn, but that Rot Maw is sitting pretty, and I feel like DungeonLord is really going to want to get in there. Mangle Shell sitting at the back. Oh, another Shattering Maw. See, this is why you need Punish on your repeaters. Because if this repeater had Punish, that defensive strike would have prevented Shattering Maw from using its Sonic Roar. on deploy. But I mean, Mangleshell does have mobility. These guys all have mobility from the Kathir Forest font bonus. So if the cleanse does come down, then DungeonLord can still get some good attacks off. Except the problem here is Energy Thief, and the Avatar is going to have to use its Avatar-y ability to ignore AP loss and finish off at least this Chattering Maw. This one on 40 HP is not going anywhere, but this one can easily be cleaned up. And then I guess Mangleshell can maybe finish this one off. But yeah, those Chattering Maws really did a number on DungeonLord's play here. Would have been so sweet if Hellir was playing anything but worms and that poison trap play actually worked. But it looks like Sapella is moving right on in. Gonna clean up. He's actually gonna clean up this Chattering Maw. I don't know if I agree with that. See, the thing with this one is definitely the more threatening one because it's tying up Mangleshell, and it's also contesting your font. So you kind of want to get rid of this one. I know it's only on 24 HP, but still. And I guess we're going all in on Fishkisser now, so Fishkisser is getting Twisted Essence and Confuse? I don't know if I would have... I don't know if that's the equivalent choice for Fishkisser for me. You know what? I want to see Turtle Shell on a Torton one day. Just someone putting Turtle Shell on it, ignoring the fact that it gives Turtle and Ponderous already. So there's the artillery coming in. Yeah, but yeah, like Turtle Shell on Tortons is literally just scale armor for 20 Nora. Probably not worth it, but hey, it's funny because it's literally a turtle's shell, right? It's like Forgalar Swamp knew about Tortons way before we did, and was like, hey, these guys make great armor. We're gonna hollow them out and take it. Wasn't there? Yeah, no, sorry. I was just trying to remember if there was a story I heard about that once. But no, Mangleshell is going to... no, he can't quite finish off the Blood Fiend. He is still awestruck. Gonna get some damage on it, though. Heal it up, and the Chattering Maw just gonna, I guess, be ignored, because it's, you know, it's sitting in the font still. That's a nice little AoE. Oh my god, a Bile Zombie here would go hard. Bile Zombie would go so hard here. The Mortar does have precision, though, so maybe not. But imagine, like, double Bile Zombie just bombing the shit out of these guys. Now that would probably end the game, because that would be, what, 30 damage? 32 damage with the dot? Kill all these, get these guys awful low. Then you could even transfigure and do a Disease Breath to mop them all up. So Chattering Maw doing 3 damage attack to that Mangleshell. And I guess the Avatar can just run back to the font and cap it. But this has actually been... man, I was excited for this to be a short game, but it's actually been kind of long. But, you know, DungeonLord is making a play of it. You know, maybe this goes against all of what I was saying earlier about comebacks. Because it looks like... I mean, it's... honestly, at this point, it's still a fairly even game. But, yeah, Mobilization... ooh, Mobilization's gonna probably spell the end of that Fishkisser. Hyde still doesn't have logistics yet. And what the hell just happened? Blood Fiend dies. Okay. What did he die to? Did he try to exert or something and lost 8 life because of it? Yeah, I guess he did. But yep, there goes the Fishkisser to the Rot Maw. A couple nice globes for Hellir to collect. And yeah, I'd probably... I mean, I was going to say DungeonLord is still making a game of it. He kind of is. Like, if he recaptures this font, you could maybe see a comeback. But, I mean, this deployment zone is nuts. Like, there's no way you outgrind this deployment zone. But, I mean, hey, like, if I did cut that recording early, like, we wouldn't have gotten to see that Poison Trap play. And we wouldn't have, you know, gotten to see Hellir not give a fuck about that Poison Trap play in the end. Just deployed double Chattering Maw, right? So I'm betting Sapella is gonna clean that Chattering Maw up. It would be nice to battle leader it, but Mangleshell can't really walk through the aura without losing it and too much AP. So down it goes, and Sapella should retreat, capture that font again. Mangleshell can get off a couple hits. He can get 24 4. Yeah, you can get a battle leader here on that Rotma. Although I would prefer to see the Phantasmal go down. 12, 13. He has enough. And then maybe... the problem is you'd be walking into range of all these other guys, though. Like, I have Sirkin. I think he only needs one more deploy to get that logistics up. So, well, I don't know. Mangle Shell is going in. Oh, is he going to go for the Shrine? Is he going to try and bring the Shrine down? Can he do, like, a double Heirloom's Favor? Get, like, 2 hits with Mortar. Okay, well, he's not going to try it. I was thinking, like, 2 hits with Mortar is 24, and then Mangle Shell, 2 more hits. And then with Peter, another hit. Would that have been enough? I don't think so. But it would have been close. And what? Sapella's not going for that font? Oh, come on, man. You gotta get your deployment zone. I mean, if nothing else, you need the Nora, right? At this point, you're way behind on Nora. You cannot make a comeback without having Nora. I'm guessing he's thinking like, well, if I get that font, Hellir is just gonna deploy in it anyway, so what's the point? But I don't know, I'd still get it. Like, it's a font. Like, come on. What are you going to do, not get a font? Or are you Bally or something? Bally on Snarling Tangle with Hydraxor? But, yeah, so I guess... I mean, Hellir is still behind on the board. He still can't get through all these Tortons, despite the Nora advantage and all the deploys. The Chattering Maws are nice for stalling, but they really don't last long. So he needs something bigger. Like, he needs a putrid. We haven't seen putrid all game, and with the loss of that eye, I mean that's a sore blow to Hellir in this position. Blinking Creeper to replace it, and I mean I guess the Unspeakable will keep it safe for a turn, but still waiting on that cleanse. I think this would be a great turn for the cleanse to come down. Like, if you just one round that freshly deployed blinking, like imagine the demoralization that would cause Hellir at this point. It's like, man, I've been doing so well this game. My deployment zone's huge. I got Nora, and then he just kills one of my champs in one turn. And that'd be horrible. And then, I mean, Rotma can't do anything on his own. DungeonLord has been doing well to keep up the range dominance. Aw, no, you're not running... Okay, well... If you were running Initiative on that Twilight, that'd be so much better. How do you not run Initiative on Twilight Creeper? That boggles my mind, because, like, you want... Like, Binding Chains or Constriction on deploy from, like, a million miles away is so good. Like, imagine, like, a Binding Chains here, or a Constriction on the Mangle Shell or something, you know? I mean, Impatient makes him really cheap, but, like, who cares? You're running Worms. You've got a bunch of cheap shit already. Also, you lose 5 AP immediately, because you can't really attack unless you have, like, a bunch of other champs there to do attacking for you first. But, yeah, I definitely go with Initiative. Like, he's still under 70 Nora if you take Initiative, so it's not like he's terribly expensive. But I feel like... Here, like, DungeonLord is not doing too bad. Okay, so he's going for the Shrine. I guess, I mean, that's one option. I'd want to just mop up these champs first, because I think he was doing the right thing from the get-go, is going for the champs. And taking the occasional hit at the Shrine when you can, but... The problem is he's against FW, and FW... in the late game, I mean, their champs have basically no cooldown, right? There's another Heirloom's Favor. Everyone gains some AP. Oh, is he going... Oh, did he think he could give his Avatar AP from that? See, now, this turn is not really a good turn to go for it, because Blinking Creeper is debuffing you by 4 damage, right? I mean, he's getting close, even with that Dread and the Unspeakable damage reduction. He's doing quite a bit. Hellir's Shrine is down to 19. Like, if his Avatar... he probably thought his Avatar would gain AP from that, but it only affects Tortons. So I think if his Avatar got a hit too, it would have been closer, but it wouldn't have been enough. I think, though, Hellir is definitely going to have to transfigure here. Like, there's no way he keeps his Avatar on 19 HP. But, I mean, with Sapella right there next to it, like, you're not going to be running. It's going to be... I don't know, it's gonna be tough to move away. I think actually, you know what? Hellir is probably lost. Man, imagine losing as Worms in the late game when you're 2 fonts up. Imagine that. And of course, Petrifying Gaze can't affect Sapella. The Constriction comes down, but I think... No, Nature's Blessing is still on like 1 or 2 turn cooldown, I believe, so no cleanse there. But then, oh man, the portal into the defensive strike. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Okay, so that's awful, because that would have been another Hex. So more damage reduction, and yeah, kind of a big mistake there by Hellir, not factoring that in. I still say though, punish always on Torton repeaters. So much more useful, even at the higher price point it brings. But the Petrifying Gaze does come out here on that repeater. Like, if you would have done that first, that would have been better, because petrified units can't attack. So, Order of Operations screwing you. That Blood Fiend over there also screwing you. Not doing you any favors having that just sit there, rather than being on cooldown. Another Twilight. Another non-initiative Twilight. And yeah, Hellir doesn't have a choice here but to Transfigure. Can't really do a Disease Breath over here, though, because of all his other units in the way. And he can't run because he is engaged to Sapella. So I think that's the end of the game, honestly. Like, Hellir actually lost this. You know what? I take back everything I said about stopping recordings early, because I think, if anything, this proves that I shouldn't do that. Because I had given DungeonLord up for loss here. But from the way it's going, I mean, there's no way DungeonLord doesn't win on this next turn, right? Like, he can do another Heirloom's Favor, because I believe the last time he cast those spells, he cast them both on the same turn, so the other one should be off cooldown now. But I mean, Mangle Shell can get 2 hits, Mortar can get 1, Sapella can get 1, and that should be enough. Let me just try and... Wait, what? Oh yeah, okay, so... the Nature's Blessing did cleanse the repeater, and that lets him get the kill in the Avatar. DungeonLord takes the game. So well played to both. You will see everyone in the next one.